Hi, this is Marina Onken. I am the Interim Dean of the College of Business and Economics. I am so delighted to have Lamont Ability with us today. He is the latest winner of the Wisconsin Big Idea Tournament. We also have with us Sherry Marnell, who was his advisor for the whole process. And we have with us Manisha Vaswani. She is our new advisor for the Innovation Challenge here on campus. Lamont, I'm so delighted that you are able to join us today. This was a tremendous achievement. You are going to have your picture taken, and you will end up in our hallway of innovation in South Hall, and you are ranking right up there with the very best of the best.
Thank you.
So can you tell us about your big idea? What was your big idea?
Yeah, to start off, my big idea wasn't something that I thought about, right? It was something that I dealt with in real life, in reality. So growing up in Liberia, when I was about 2 years old, my father won a visa lottery to come to America. And as a young man in Africa, from the age of 5 to 11, before I came to America, I'll wake up every morning to go gather water, walking 3.7 miles round trip, barefoot, just to go gather water. So my family, my mom, my grandmother, and siblings had water for the day to shower, to brush their teeth, to eat properly, and just to take care of the basic needs of the day-to-day basis, right? So coming to America today, and my co-founder and I, he also dealt with the water crisis in Ethiopia. He grew up in Ethiopia. I grew up in Liberia. He lost 2 siblings to waterborne diseases in Ethiopia, and I spent half my life dealing with the reality of the water crisis. And nearly 1 billion people still live without access to clean water today. So we wanted to do something about that. So the big idea came from our struggles and our realities of dealing with the water crisis, and now looking at it like, okay, there's still nearly 1 billion people that are still dealing with the same problem. What can we do as individuals to help with that, right? So we established a business model where we like, okay, this is a business that will be centered around giving and taking care of our local, national, and global community. So what we wanted to do was we wanted to start something that with every purchase made, we donate 50% of our profits, right? So first we started with clothing. We was like, okay, we should do clothing and try to feed people world hunger and stuff like that. We realized that that was, although we dealt with hunger in Africa, water crisis, water is fundamental to everyone's needs, right? You look at the Maslow hierarchy of needs, it's the basic thing you need to really achieve your full potential. So we wanted to focus on water. And we established a big idea business model where one of our reusable water bottles help supply 10 years of clean access to clean, safe water to those that need it most.
Yeah. What I find so impressive about this is that you were attacking one of the biggest problems on this planet, which is water security.
Absolutely.
And you found a way to maybe not solve the entire problem, but you're solving a corner of it.
Absolutely.
You're making some inroad on that. And that kind of a social enterprise is a start of changing the world. I'm so impressed by that.
Thank you. Because like by 2025, 2/3 of the world is going to be in water sacred areas, right? So this problem is going to be more relevant to every single one of us very, very soon. And we wanted to get ahead of that and make sure that we don't come to a place where our communities look like Flint, Michigan, right? So this is huge problems, right? It's not just in developing countries, it's in our backyard here. So what can we do as individuals to combat that a little earlier on before we get to where there's no turning back?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
What advice do you have for students as they go through the process of the Innovation Challenge and as they are going through the business model canvas?
Yeah, the biggest advice I would have for anyone is be you, be creative, be you. Like, because at the end of the day, there's very structured ways that our society have placed norms that we feel like we need to follow in order to be successful. And at the end of the day, what I learned from those experiences, especially with the competition, I felt like being me and being 100% true to who I am was ultimately what led up to us winning the big idea tournament. I think the biggest advice there is be you, be creative. Because at the end of the day, as an entrepreneur, you're not going out there looking for problems, right? You are going out there looking for solutions. Because if you're you, problems will find you. You will figure out a way to find solutions. And at the end of the day, my number one advice that I can give anyone is to be you, be creative, and just be bold.
How easy was it to work with the business model canvas?
Oh man, it was one of the best things I've ever done. So just learning the structure of it, interviewing process with market valuation, just looking at the basics, things that we needed to meet. Because we felt like we had everything for our business, right? Now it was like, okay, now we got to follow this business model. How do you get these propositions? How do you get these things to put it in places where it could work, right? So I think with that, it was just a beautiful experience, just to kind of like utilize the business model to help myself and the company to where it is today. It kind of, what it did was it helped us see the vision forward more with a brighter light, right? We were able to say, okay, this is how we want to do this, X's and there, this is how we're going to do it, and this is how it's going to look like. So now from just having an idea, the business model allowed the idea to blossom into a reality, right? I think that, that was one of the best things that we were fortunate enough to partake in.
Sherry, what would be the 3 biggest pieces of advice you would give to students to be successful? You were so successful in advising Lamont. What are the 3 biggest pieces of advice you would give to students?
Yeah, I love what Lamont said in regards to be you, but I would build onto that. And the 3 pieces of advice I would give is ask, listen, and do. Ask questions, be curious. The biggest part with the business model canvas is really talking to your customers and asking questions, and be curious about the decisions and the answers that they have, and continue to probe to truly understand potential problems that your customers have. The second piece is listen. Too often we come thinking we have the solution, somewhat what Lamont was saying, but truly listen to see if the customers truly have the same pain that you identified, and understand. And then the last one would be do, right? And I would say do and execute, and be okay to fail, right? Your first or second or third or fourth try might not be what you want it to be. You might not get the outcomes, but just keep iterating. And by doing, you move forward and you learn. The best acronym I love is the acronym of failing. Failing isn't failing. It's not negative. It's just your first attempt in learning, right? So oftentimes people view failing as a bad thing, where I just view it as a way to continue to pivot your idea to try to get to the true solution and root of the problem that you're trying to solve for.
Absolutely.
I think learning to fail is an important skill to have, because it doesn't mean that you stop. It just means that you have learned something and you continue, right, Lamont?
Yeah, like I think of failure like this. When it comes to failure, I think of it as, I replace it with another F word, actually. I replace failure with fuel, right? So without failure, you can't really achieve anything, right? So it's the start, like Sherry said. Failure is a start. And so sometimes, a lot of times, failure become that roadblock, that obstacle that a lot of people can't get past. But learning to utilize that failure and turn it into a fuel to ultimately power you up to climb that obstacle, to bypass that, is what I look at failure as. Like, okay, this is what it is, but this is what I'm going to turn it as. I'm going to turn this failure into fuel.
Yeah, and you did, and that's exactly what Lamont did, right? So he knew what that root cause problem he was looking to solve for, right? And again, he thought clothing was the solution. Easily, entrepreneurs can get stuck on, oh, clothing's not going to work. I'm just going to scrap this whole idea, right? But instead, he asked, he listened, and he tried. He did, right? He took those 3 pieces of advice and iterated, right? And gave you that fuel to continue to pivot and iterate your business idea.
Well, I would like to introduce everyone to Manisha Baswani. She is a faculty member who is joining us. She's a management faculty member. and she also has a background in entrepreneurship as well. And she will be our new advisor for the Innovation Challenge this year, and she'll be walking you through all of the dynamics of the business model canvas, walking you through the lean startup methodology, and I think she will do a fantastic job. She has lots of energy, and just really appreciate her taking this on.
I'm very excited. Thank you.
You're very welcome. And I'm actually the original advisor for the Innovation Challenge. I've been involved with it since the very beginning as a faculty member, and I will be there as well to help with students. And so you get the power of the dean in there too, and helping you connect with the business community as well. And so I think that this is going to be a really powerful year to work on our innovations and work virtually as well. If Google can innovate virtually, so can we.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you very much, everyone. And I look forward to working with everybody this year. And let's innovate together.
I actually have an update that I kind of wanted to share with you. Yeah. So, Sherry, I haven't told you this yet, but so since we launched this summer in June, last week, after talking to our nonprofit partner, we have sponsored our first school in Kenya. So we will be supplying kids with water to be able to go to school with COVID recovery and stuff like that. So we just sponsored our first school in Kenya just last week. So that's very exciting.
I have goosebumps. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
And I have this cool bottle here. So look at this bottle, right? So this bottle is actually University of New Mexico. So we were fortunate enough to partner with them this summer, and they bought a few bottles for the International Study Department. And having discussion with UWRF Falls here, who was fortunate enough to buy a co-brand some bottles for some of the kids, freshmen coming in this semester, which is going to be a lot of fun. So there's a lot of exciting stuff that's going to be happening. And anyone that's watching this, just go and follow your dreams. Everything else will fall in place. At the end of the day, it's a lot of work, right, Sherry? As you know, we have had plenty of discussions of this. It's just a lot of work, but at the end of the day, fruits will start showing up. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's great.
I am so thrilled that you're continuing to follow through on this, and you are changing the world, absolutely. And that is the power of the Innovation Challenge, is that sometimes you just need a little toehold or just a little bit of encouragement, and students just take off with their idea and they change the world.
That's awesome.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
You too, thanks.